What's up, everybody? This is the odd segment, and before we go and do the radio edition, we're going to have the digital edition for you guys. Kenny White out in Vegas, Reagan from R&R Cigars, like Christmas for Reagan, and he's Santa Claus. He's just, distributing all the stogs to everybody for the cigar game.
The official.
Yeah, the official cigar of the third Saturday in October. You like that? Is that a good title?
I don't know if you guys saw it. Yay, Alabama said that we were the official cigar people of the third Saturday in October. So
I've always thought that, but that's cool. Well, that's awesome to get that justification.
That's the people that matter. That's mm-hmm. Alabama's NIL entity says R&R is the place for you to get victory cigars. So people can argue with me, right? People can argue with me about, somebody else does the cigars for the game. I don't know. Were they at practice yesterday? Did they get called the official cigar people of the third
How
Saturday
was practice yesterday?
It's good. They're
What'd you
big,
see?
man. They're big. Like they're all huge.
Yeah, right.
Like they're all huge. Like that's like the biggest thing that you notice more than anything else is it's like you can tell when the walk-ons are walking because you're like, wait, those are the walk-ons, like because they're just little guys, right? Like it's like little white guys, and you're like, those, the walk-ons right there, guys my size,
right?
Guys look more like me, wearing number like 58, and I'm like, yeah, that's the walk-on. I'd be wearing number 69 personally.
Well, I'm going to throw this up here for everyone. rnrcigars.com, 20% off and free shipping with our code Bama Tailgate. So as you guys, wherever you might be watching, you want to get that vibe. You want the official. Do you have any of the official cigars left, or did you sell them all?
I got a few left.
Okay, because you were almost out the other day.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, congratulations. Hopefully, Alabama continues to play good football against these guys. Although that didn't happen last year, they lost, which sucked. But we'll talk about that. We're going to actually pick that game coming up here. But let's do our digital pick right now for all the people that are hanging out with us digitally. And I would love to put this on the show, but by the time we get to that point, Penn State and Ohio State, are going to be pretty close to kickoff in some of the markets that the show's on. So since this is your time, Reagan, I'm going to let you go first. Number 7, Penn State at number 3, Ohio State. It's a 4.5-point spread. That's where we're going to hold it. In the horseshoe, a good Penn State team. Ohio State's found a way, though, to get victories. You go first.
Well, I'm going to go with the Nittany Lions. I really like. I think Aller is the better quarterback, and I think quarterback play is what really matters. If McCord gets off to a slow start like they did last week versus Maryland, Ohio State's cooked, because Aller's not gonna play as bad as Talia did in the second half last week. I mean, Talia was awful. Competent quarterback play last week for Maryland beats Ohio State. I think Penn State has it. 4.5's a lot. I don't think Ohio State's really that good. And I think, with what's going on at Michigan today, Jim Harbaugh is, being Jim Harbaugh. So I like Penn State today to go 4.5.
All right, Kenny, always great to see you, the Wizard of Odds out in Vegas. Kenny White's power ratings. You send me the power ratings. Good stuff each week. And
you send the power ratings, and then you're still like, I don't even get the power. You don't even look at them then. Because if you look at his power ratings, you wouldn't be dead last.
Well, look, I was 3-1 last week.
Start using them. That would help you out on your picks.
Trust me, I know.
For Kenny's power rating.
Mick used them last week for the first time.
Maybe it was last week. All right, Kenny, what do you got on this one? Penn State and Ohio State.
I'm laying the point. Well, truth be told, I am holding a ticket for Penn State. I bet $500 at 22-1 to win the national championship. They're the only team I bet. I just felt the 22-1 was way too high. It was the only team I saw value in. And I didn't even look at the schedule. Did not know they were going to Ohio State. But I thought this game was going to be a close game at the beginning of the year. It is 4.5-point spread. Either team can win. But I'm going to take Ohio State. The one thing I've seen, Penn State does not have the explosive play capability that I think you need to be a national championship team. They're 85th in the country in plays of 10 or more yards. 85th. There's 84 teams ranked at them. And then 20-yard plays, they're 125th. They're in the bottom of the barrel. You don't get big plays out of Penn State. I understand you don't have to get big plays to win. You can grind it out 4, 5, 6, 10 yards at a time, but it's awfully tough to do it that way, especially playing good teams. And Kyle McCord, I think, has had a really good year. Looking at yards per pass, Drew Aller, and I know he's just a freshman, but playing on the road's tough. He averages just 6.9 yards a pass, where Kyle McCord averages 9.7. Big difference between those two. So I'll take Ohio State.
Nice. Look, I'm going to Ohio State too, and it's really, I'd love to see Penn State win this game. My heart would be with the Nittany Lions, but I'm with you. I just think it's such a tough place to go and play. Penn State has to have everything go their way to win this. They haven't won this game since 2016. James Franklin, I think he's a good coach, but it's been a 2-horse race in this league pretty much every year for the last 5-6 years, and it's not Penn State. It's Michigan and Ohio State. 4.5 points. Ohio State probably wins this by 7 or more. If Penn State wins, I'll tell you what, it would really signal that there could be a shakeup at the top of the Big Ten. But I don't know. I just think that the ball will bounce their way. They'll make a few more plays. And when it's all said and done, I look for Penn State to knock off Ohio State. Ohio State to knock off Penn State in about a 7-point game. All right, guys, it's time to do the radio edition. Remember, we are going in time now to Saturday. So when the music hits, we are Saturday, and we are not on this time right now. But before we do, I want to get this up, the official standings, so that we can all look at those and remember and laugh about how bad I've been. Although I did have my best week last week, by the way, at 3-1. Kenny, you were 3-1. Reagan, you were 1-3. All right, here we go.
I had a bad week.
Well, it happens to the best of us, and in my case, even the worst of us. Welcome back to the original Bama Football Tailgate Show as we get you set for Alabama and Tennessee. Our show is presented by Pearl River Resort, and so is this segment out there in Choctaw, Philadelphia, Mississippi. The Timeout Sports Lounge is your little slice of Vegas here in the South, about 2 hours from Birmingham, hour and a half from Tuscaloosa. They've got the ability out there to play all the table games and also wager on sporting events as well. And that is Pearl River Resort. Our show is also presented by Yuengling Lager, America's oldest brewery. And our remote today is brought to you by Screwball, the original peanut butter whiskey. Always great to have these guys on with me. I'll start with our friend out in Vegas, the Wizard of Odds, Mr. Kenny White. Also, Kenny White's Power Ratings. How you doing, Kenny? And tell us about those Power Ratings.
Thank you, Mick. Yeah, you got all my favorite sponsors on there too now: Screwball and Yuengling and R&R Cigars. Just that's a trifecta right there. That's a great night. I'm gonna go power rating wise. It's not just all about the power ratings. You do get the power ratings. $20 a month gets you college football, NFL, Major League Baseball, and hockey. But it's not just about the power ratings. You get the projections from each game, projected final scores for every game in college football. NFL, baseball, hockey, whatever sport it is. You also get projected win totals for every team. And now I've added pace stats for the NFL and college football that you get to see each team's pace and how fast they snap the football in between plays, yards per play that are adjusted, and scoring. So yeah, a lot of good stuff there for just $19 a month or $20 a month.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Kenny. And then there's Reagan out in R&R Cigar, longtime partner of the show. But Reagan, you're on here picking games, and I'll tell you what, you have been a man of the media this week. Good to see that you found time to hang out with us.
Man, I mean, it's like radio, TV, all kinds of rivals. Our buddy Tony Sukalis.
Yep, Tony.
Yeah, there's something from AL.com coming out sometime. And I don't know, it'll probably be some last minute people. I don't know. Hopefully there'll be some last minute people. But it's cool. People like to talk about us this weekend. I guess, they like to talk about us a lot behind our backs, but that's a different story. But,
well, Reagan,
we're here.
You good to see you. You have been generous here with the promo code Bama Tailgate for our audience, rnrcigars.com. You get 20% off and free shipping. And of course, he's got that official stogie of the third Saturday and October game that if Alabama wins, you'll see him smoking on the sideline. All right, here we go, guys. Let me throw this up. This is it right here. Kenny is 13-9, Reagan 11-11. I'm 7-15. I don't know why we didn't move Kenny up in the standings there, but maybe because it's your week, Reagan. You're number one in our heart. But Kenny and I went 3-1 last week. You went 1-3, and so
that's why I'm in second.
That's why you're in second, except you're on top there. So, all right, that's what
Leslie told me.
I don't make the graphics. I just read them. All right, here we go. Let's make our picks. We'll start with a Pac-12 game. Pac-12's had some really good games. Last week's Washington-Oregon game, we all won that one. That was a on this, if you break even, we all win, right? So it was a 3-point spread. They hit it right on the money. I don't know how they do that, but they do. This week's game is Utah, number 14, at USC. It's a 7-point spread. USC is the favorite. And Kenny, I'm going to start right there with you.
Yeah, let me handle it. I'm Trojans all the way here. College football, these are young kids, 18 to 22, 23 years old. There's emotions that go up and down in these games, and you see it back and forth. Notre Dame loses to Louisville. Louisville loses to Pittsburgh. USC loses at Notre Dame after Notre Dame got beaten. These teams bounce back and they play better the next week. And I think USC now at home, they probably learned a lot about themselves last week. They have to make adjustments. Utah, great program, great head coach in Kyle Whittingham, but they're without their starting quarterback, Kyle Whittingham, Cameron Rising. Rising hasn't played all year, injured his knee last year in the bowl game. Don't think he's playing this weekend. If he does, boy, he's going to be rusty at best. And I don't think he's playing, but they've had problems at the quarterback position. There's a team that can't score going up a team like USC that can score. I think USC scores in the 30s. Utah they just don't have the fireworks to hang around with USC. So I'm taking the Trojans.
All right, Reagan.
Well, I don't know about y'all, but I've never had much use for Trojans. And the Utah, the Mormons, I am with the Mormons and the soaking that they're going to be doing this weekend. Look, I'm not a big gotcha. And I don't trust USC at all. I really don't. I mean, they haven't looked good. They score on offense. It doesn't matter who plays at quarterback because USC can't stop a nosebleed. So I like Utah. I like Utah this week. I really do. I think, especially with the off-field stuff that Caleb Williams has inserted himself into about I want equity in an NFL team, get real. I don't know. I think this week maybe I'll go 1-3 again, but I'm gonna pick. I can't go 1-3. I'm gonna go 1-2, but I'll take Utah in 7 points.
For whatever reason, Utah just struggles to play in Los Angeles. I mean, like they're good at home and they play well everywhere else, but they just struggle every time they're in, in LA. So I hate giving up the 7, but I think USC is going to be motivated after that destruction that they faced at Notre Dame last week, which was a win for me, by the way. But I'm going to look for USC to bounce back, and I'm comfortable with the 7 that Utah, a very dangerous defensive team, has. But for whatever reason, they've always just had the jinx in LA. All right, Reagan, I'm going to throw you up first. Ole Miss at Auburn. It's a 6.5-point spread. Vegas is begging you to take the Rebels.
Well, I'm the Vegas sucker because I'm taking the Rebels. You got me. Vegas gets me again. Look, man, I think Auburn's terrible. I mean, look at how awful they've been. Do they even have a quarterback? I mean, it's crazy. Can Auburn score 6.5 points would be the better line, I don't care that it's on the plains, I look, man, Ole Miss still has something to play for. Alabama's got to win 2 more games, and they're tough games. So I don't think Ole Miss really struggles this week. I don't think it's 6.5. I think Ole Miss wins by a good bit. I'll probably look stupid again, but Ole Miss.
All right. Look, I'm going with the home dog. It's a win-win. I take Auburn at 6.5. I win, and if they win, and then if Ole Miss beats them by 6.5, I still win because I'm happy. So I just feel like it's so tough to win on the SEC on the road, and Auburn looked so bad last week against LSU. I just got a feeling that they're gonna be a little bit tougher this week, and they almost beat Georgia, but I'm going with the win-win. All right, what about you, Kenny?
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to take the 6.5. I think it's a little bit too much. The one thing Auburn does is they run the ball well, and I think that at home, that's what they're going to try to do. That'll be the game plan, keep Mississippi off the field. I guess easier said than done. But yeah, my numbers don't show it. They just don't show it should be that high. I have Ole Miss winning by 3, so got to take the 6.5.
All right. Stay up there, Kenny. Finish us off. Number 18, Tennessee, at number 11, Alabama. That's the game that we're covering here. Obviously, we do it every week. It's a 2:30 kickoff, Bryant-Denny Stadium. Bama's a 9-point favorite against Tennessee in this rivalry game.
Easy. Go Tide. Roll Tide. Have I been against that? I've been against the Tide for 3 straight weeks, but my numbers this week are saying a double-digit win by Alabama. So, yeah, I think Tennessee's a little overrated. Joe Milton is not the same as Hendon Hooker. This is not the same offense. They can't score points like they did last year. And if you're going to beat Bama, you're going to have to beat them over the top. Joe Milton can't do that. Alabama's defense is going to smother them in this game. From that loss last year, this game has been circled. The cigarettes have been ordered from R&R, and we're ready to smoke it out at the end of this game.
Cigarettes? What are we doing here?
Cigars. He meant cigars. You know that. Cigars. You know that, Reagan. All right. Well, let's pull Reagan up. Good job, Kenny, as always. All right, Reagan, cigar game. 9.
What Reuben Foster doesn't play here anymore, so it's no more cigarettes. So, look, Kenny kind of stole my thunder here. I mean, dude. Everything that I've heard this week, this team is focused and motivated and ready to go. Whether they'll execute at that level, I don't know. I'm not surprised if Alabama wins by 2 touchdowns or more, if it's not ugly. I think they can blow them out. I really do. It's a matter of, do they take their foot off the gas like they did last week versus Arkansas? If they don't take their foot off the gas, Tennessee is in real trouble. Real trouble. And I really think, like this week, I think Nick made the comment yesterday about, like it's great, the cigar tradition's great, especially when you're the one that's getting to smoke the cigars. And I think that this is a really, we don't know if this game's going to be protected or not. This could be the last home game. of this game for Alabama and Tennessee for a while. So I'm guessing Alabama is going to beat them very badly, and I'm going to be smoking on the field after the game is over. There'll be some cool pictures on R&R's Instagram and R&R's Twitter. Go there and find them. There are also pictures of my adorable daughter all the time. So check out our Instagram, R&R Cigar, and go to our website, rnrcigars.com. Get 20% off with the Bama Tailgate promo, and get your victory cigars because you're going to light them up this week. But there's no free funds if they don't.
Yep. All right, guys, great stuff. I'm going to agree with both of you guys. They struggled so much against Tennessee. Against Florida, Tennessee did on the road. Alabama's felt like they lost all week, even though they won the football game. They didn't play well enough to win, but they did win. You know, they tried to give it away at the end, but then they made big plays when they had to. I think these are the weeks where Nick Saban's got the team motivated, and I think that Alabama's going to win this football game. I don't know if it's going to be by 9. But I'm just going to take Alabama and give up the 9, and we'll just have to roll with that. I think Tennessee is going to be confident. They did beat Alabama a year ago. Their best players are in the NFL. But this is also a team that can play good defense and get after the quarterback. So Alabama's going to have to block. I think they're going to have to run the ball some and take advantage of those opportunities. But if they get the lead on Tennessee, I think it could be a long afternoon at Bryant-Denny Stadium today when Alabama takes on Tennessee. Thank you, guys. The Wizard of Odds out in Vegas, Kenny White, Reagan at R&R Cigar. And don't forget, with the promo code Bama Tailgate, rnrcigars.com right now, you can get 20% off and free shipping. Take advantage of it. Get the official cigars from right there at R&R Cigars. When we come back, we're going to break this thing down. Alabama and Tennessee, the third Saturday in October matchup. This is the Cigar game, and we're going to talk more about it on the original Bama Football Tailgate Show right after this.